Welcome back to Fireside Bourbon, and this is part 7 of a quarter of a century of our beloved whiskey that we are doing. And we are still in the year 2001, and we are talking about the first 25 years of the 21st century that we have just seen pass and how it has affected the whiskey market, all whiskey, especially bourbon. That's what we want to focus on today. We want to talk about the Great Bourbon Depression, dating all the way back to the 1960s, also known as the Bourbon Glut, also known as the Dark Ages or the Dark Ages of Bourbon. And that lasted between the 1960s and 1990s. Now, in 1984, Blanton's released a single barrel, and in 1992, Burkernot, through Jim Beam, put out a small batch that we started seeing pop up after those times. Now, out of fairness, Old Forester did release a single barrel in 1950s, but wasn't acknowledged the same way as Blanton's that actually labeled it as a single barrel. Now, how did Japan save bourbon? Well, Japan, when we went through this time, this dark time, Japan's teenagers wanted our brown water and they started buying it up. And Wild Turkey took advantage of this. In 2001, they released or introduced actually a limited edition 17-year bourbon, and they did that in Japan, and Japan bought it up. We weren't ready for that yet because of our market. We weren't ready. We weren't stable enough to be doing it. The bourbon market was still too weak. In 2015, though, things had changed, and they had released by then a 17-year bourbon Master's Keep here in America, and it grew from that. And with including 2020 was another one, and then last year, 2025, they did their final release with the title of Maker's Keep the Beacon, and that was very successful. Now, Wild Turkey did release in America a 10-year-old bourbon, and it was called the Russell's Reserve. It did stick. It's still around. We still see it. This 10-year-old bourbon became a permanent release, and it has demonstrated its ability to grow and grow the awareness of more premium whiskeys, and we've seen that take place. So that's how Japan saved bourbon, and that's how it still was being affected in 2001, even to today. With that, we want to take a look at Wild Turkey. Toast Wild Turkey here with a pour. Cheers. I'm only here for some damn good bourbon and great American history about it.